Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Teresa E.
Thank you, Quernsey, and welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If I, Beefloaf, reference a meme, or talk about my very well-regarded and popular podcast, The Au Jus, you drink. If My Sock Summer mentions his time on the West Coast, or blames his kids for something, everything, you drink. And if Treasy shows up in the comments and appears to make My Sock Summer look dumb, you also drink. And you can make all of us drink for a tip of $1.08 or more, hopefully more, because we want to get those tips rolling today. Maybe even as many tips as we had at the Au Jus. I know that'll be tough because that was my birthday episode.
Oh my God!
But let's try it anyway. Let's keep pushing the tips. I mean, there's no reason not to. In the meantime, though, I have a very important question for my guy, My Sock Summer. My Sock Summer, what are you drinking, my friend?
What is up, birthday boy? Everyone was like, "Hey," or everyone, Wally and Mr. Han were like, "Hey, wear the De La Salle shirt," and I was like, "No, it's going to be 100 fucking degrees, and I will soak through the shirt in 22 seconds. I'm not wearing it." So both those guys wore it, and they're like, "Hey, what's up? Why'd you do this?" And I was like, "No, I told you, it's going to be too fucking hot." I'm drinking as I'm getting into the Four Roses. Ooh. I'm just drinking Four Roses until the Four Roses is gone. This is the small batch Four Roses, big bottle. And it is delicious. So I'm gonna cheers everyone.
Beautiful.
I guess it's Alexis's birthday today. It doesn't tell me that on the Twitters, so I don't know. I don't know if this is a joke. I'm not really sure. So
yeah, I should check real quick just to see.
I checked
if you see the balloons. No balloons.
No balloons.
I don't believe it. If there's no balloons,
yeah, I don't believe it either.
You know, I'm one of those people.
It's the 29th.
No balloons. Yeah. That's what. So, yeah. Okay, then we're gonna believe it. It's the 29th. Then we're not celebrating today.
Loaf.
Yes, sir.
What are you drinking tonight?
Baby. You know what's funny is like I never drink whiskey, but I'm going to drink some whiskey tonight because I have the Jack Daniel's single barrel that Mr. Han had given to me before. And it's really tasty. I'm not a Jack Daniel's guy, but I like these special ones. They're good. What I noticed though, MSS, is we're both like in a bottle killing mode right here. This one, we have like half bottles that we're like, let's just drink that down, because you're usually a guy, I'm going to have my taste. I got this other thing. I this fourth bottle that I might have this thing. Today you're just like, you know what, this Four Roses is good, but I need to drink this down. Is that kind of your approach right now?
Yeah, you know, it's been down here, and I was like, hi, I should get a taste, but I don't like switching between different brands. So like if I have two Knob Creeks, like I'm cool with that, right? Like Knob Creek. I'm not cool with like Four Roses and then go to Knob Creek. I want to drink the same thing throughout the whole night. And I've been having some really good luck, and I'm gonna probably fucked it all up. But like getting nice and toasty on one of these, and then the next morning, clear as a fucking bell. And I'm like, I go right to the fucking gym. No worries, you know, none of that shit. So we're good.
Yeah. Speaking of the fake birthday girl, Alexis says, "Is Beef drinking a Pinot Grigio?" I am not. But that's what I claimed you were drinking. But you know what it is? Is like I made the comment only because every time someone posts white wine, women post white wine pictures this time of year. They're out at some patio or whatever. It's almost always Sauvignon Blanc. And so I want to guess something else. I just know my wine. All right. I just know women, when they're getting white girl wasted, Sauvignon Blanc, especially during the summer. If it's not rosé, it's Sauvignon Blanc. And that's where they're going. So I guess Pinot Grigio, and then she was like, "No." She's like, it's something else. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's Sauvignon Blanc." I know what it is, but I'm just messing with you a little bit. So take it easy over there.
From Marlboro.
Let's get to this drink.
Or whatever.
Aloha, Mr. Han says, need some MSS wit and wisdom. Well, good luck. You might get some today.
Might get some wit.
Also, happy belated birthday, Beef. Thank you, Mr. Han. Appreciate you very much.
Yeah, cheers, man. We're the same age right now. It's awesome. I was telling somebody that.
For a little bit.
I was like,
we're
we're the
46.
same age. Yeah. And you're like, no, he's younger. And I was like, no, I know, but right now we're the same age because like
we're locked on the same number currently. But you're going to turn in 2 months. Well, a month and a half, kind of.
Yeah, it's coming up, man. It's coming up quick.
It's right down the pipe. Now, My Sock Summer, I got to ask you, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing really good. And I want to get this out and just put it out there. Like, I chose yesterday as the day to clean my garage. Yeah. And it was fucking ridiculously hot, and it was just, it's just goofy hot. But not only and not only was it ridiculously hot, but yesterday also, my family's been out of town, and they have the car. We only have one car, so I was like, no car, no worries. I have a bike. I'm gonna ride my bike to the gym, man. I go, this is fucking nothing. Now, here's where I fucked up. I ordered my helmet, and I got a large because it said,
it's not big enough.
You're between. You go right above your eyebrow and everything. So I was like, I got the helmet, and this fucking doesn't fit. It looks goofy. I look like Princess Toad School, from fucking whatever the fuck Mario. I can't wear this, so I have to return it. And so I was like, okay, well, I need to find a big one, and I found an XL. But I found it, and it is pretty expensive. So like, I found one on eBay that's not used. It was brand new. Seemed like a pretty sketchy seller, but I'm okay with buying hot goods on eBay. It's not my fault. I don't know how the person got it. So it's got a good price on it. I make an offer. I get the offer accepted. I buy it last Friday. Helmet hasn't shown up yet. So I'm kind of like, this is fucking bullshit. It finally got checked into USPS today, but for the most part, I'm like, this person sucks at selling. This is why they're a zero. So anyway, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking risk it.
Does that ever happen to you? So, okay, you went with a risky seller too, right? Is that what you're saying right here? Okay, so someone that you're not sure will actually deliver on the goods. Their rating stinks on eBay, but you're like, I need this thing. I'm not gonna go out and
there's no rating. There's no rating. It's a zero. Like, it's a brand new person, and they have I have 5 helmets that should go for $75 to $80, and I'm selling them for $26. And I'm like, I'm gonna take the risk.
I'm gonna buy them all.
Listen, I almost thought about it, and then I was like, nah, because there's some other ones. Let's just make sure it works right. But they sold like all 5 of them, so people knew it was a good deal. So anyway, it's not here. So I'm like, well, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to ride up 33rd instead of 35th because I feel like 35th is bad. This bad luck as our guy Chuck Yancey has been hit 2 times on 35th.
Well, then the bus is just careening down the street and crashing into the Remova. You could have been injured in that. That's if you were on your bike.
If I was, yes, and if I was
on that launched street off of there, man. Think about the lawsuit you could have won, though.
I could own the Remova right now. It would be great. But so anyway, I'm like, I'm gonna take 33rd up, and I'll go all the way to 35th and King, and I'll go up 33rd, and then I'll just cut through the parking lot, make it real easy. So I do that, and I'm going, and the part I'm worried about the most is like going over the overpass over the highway or the freeway expressway. And because I'm like, I got to go up, right? So no problem. I get in there and I stand up and I'm going and I shoot over that, come sliding down. I'm doing good. I'm coasting. I'm like 2 blocks away, and like just starting to get close to the parking lot. All of a sudden, my legs just start fucking cramping up, and I'm like, oh god damn it! I go, I'm out of shape. I'm like, these stairs, this is bullshit. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, how am I this out of shape? Like, it's not that far of a ride. This is goofy, blah, blah, blah. So I pull in, to the little area there. I put my bike up on the thing, and I'm trying to lock the bike. Locking a bike now is way different. Like, when I was a kid, you just put stupid lock on there and just
clip it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
Now you got to like fucking undo the U-lock, then put in the fucking little braided, rope around everything to make sure everything's contained. And so I did that. And then I started looking the back of my bike, and I go, my brake is locked. Like, my lock is my brake is just locked on the tire.
So I'm like, you were riding like that?
I was riding through a locked brake. This is what I'm thinking, right? So I'm like, this is insane. I'm going, how the fuck do you fix this? And I'd read it in the manual, in passing, right? Like, don't think that
it's glossed over it.
Didn't read the manual, okay? But like, I read, brake sometimes sees like a new one, so this is how you adjust it, and you just need a Phillips head screwdriver. So I was like, sweet. So I was like, go into the gym and I work out, and then at the end, I'm like, I gotta find a Phillips head screwdriver. So I go to the front desk. I'm like, yo, you guys got a Phillips head screwdriver? And they're like, no. And I was like, what do you mean no? How do you not have a Phillips? I mean, you should have this. No, we don't have one. So this guy I work out with all the time, he goes, here you go. And he gives me his Phillips head screwdriver. I go out and start to adjust it. It's not working, and it's still like stuck. And I'm like, well, this is fucked. Like, well, how the fuck is this happening? And a guy is like riding his bike, and he's like gonna get ready to leave. And I go, yo, can you check my bike? Is there something wrong? And he goes, oh yeah. He's like, so he's looking at it. He's like, it ain't your brake. And I go, what is it? He goes, look at your tire. And I look down, and the tire is so far forward, it is rubbing against the rim, like on the inside, right? And it's not the tire that I installed, thank you, but it is just the tire there. And he's like, all you need is you just need a wrench, undo those little nuts, pull your tire back, tighten it up, you'll be fine. I'm like, are you serious? And he goes, yeah. So now I have to find a crescent wrench. And I'm like, the front desk, they don't have a fucking crescent wrench.
They didn't have a Phillips head screwdriver, which everyone has.
So I go in and find the guy. He's doing the he's the maintenance guy, and he's there to fix the machines. He just
I thought it was another guy, the guy working out. He would bother him again for more tools. Like, can you go to your car and get more tools for me?
I did ask T if he had a crescent wrench, and he said, I do not have a crescent wrench. And I'm like, okay.
He said, now get lost.
Yeah, he's like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, I've spoke with you enough today. And so I go into the maintenance guy, and I was like, hey, do you have a adjustable crescent wrench? I need to use it. And he's like, what are you using it for? And I was like, my bike, the tires are fucked up. And he's like, oh yeah, here you go. Is he thought I was gonna go fix something in the gym? It's like, no, dude, that's your territory. I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah, you were stepping on his shit there. That's what he thought, man. He was worried about you.
Coming at his job. I was like, I'm not fucking coming for your job. So I go, I get it, and he's like, here, go crazy. And so I go out there and I adjust the tire, pull it back, tighten it up, and like spinning like a motherfucker. I'm like, hell yes.
There you go,
hell
baby.
Yes. And so then I go in, return it, give it to the guy, and then I fucking unlock the bike, put all my shit in my backpack. I get on my bike, ride home, smooth as fuck. I do not fucking cramp up whatsoever, and I am totally fine. And I am so high on that, when I get home, I was like, it's time to clean the garage now. So I started the day weighing 266 pounds, and I ended the right before I ate lunch. I weighed in at like 261, so I lost 5 pounds in water weight in like 4 hours. And I'm like, this is insane. Like
five pounds of sweating it out about that you fucked up putting together your bike, which you didn't. Luckily, an expert came in there and told you, hey, numbnuts, do this thing, and you'll be.
He's like, look at that right there. And I was like, so yeah. So not only are my legs not fucking weakling legs, they're very strong and can go through and push a tire, ride a bike that looks like I'm still going okay. That's basically stopped because my legs are so goddamn strong. I mean, fucking A.
I mean, so now that you got it up and running, MSS, how often do you envision yourself riding this bike? Like, because I feel like you're going to be a guy who's going to look for reasons to go out and ride your bike somewhere to do something, right? I can just tell from the level of excitement you've had regarding all this stuff, and now you have no inhibitions. See, I was trying to mess with you before. You have risk of injury, and now you're talking about your super strong legs. I'm even more fucking worried about you falling off this bike and hurting yourself. I'm nervous. All right.
Now that I know that I need to carry around a little tool set, when I'm riding my bike, just in case something happens. I think it's just like full on. It's just on. It's on now. I was like, dude, I can ride my bike to the gym all the time because it takes about the same amount of time to ride my bike to the gym as it does to fucking drive. Okay. Like with the parking and all that stuff, it's just about the same. So it's like, this could be my cardio, and it's my, like getting to the gym and then coming back home. So I'm like, this is perfect. And I was driving right by your house, right by your place, and I was like, man, I don't need to. It's not going to take me 10 minutes to get to the Sunday Soak anymore. It's going to take me 3.5 minutes. I just got to go get the bike and just ride right down there. See, Aloha knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, I'll just ride down there. Problem is,
hungover.
I get all shit faced, and then I can't fucking ride the bike home, and then I got to push it home, and then that's not as fun.
Or you got to leave it in my backyard or whatever. And
and I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
So it's
or
like
no piss all over it. You have no idea what'll happen if you leave it over there.
The only thing that's kind of holding me back is that like I can't fucking like ride it drunk. You know, all right.
Well, you
I
could.
probably
You just
shouldn't drive right at home drunk.
Yeah, let's
be like Justin
let's
Timberlake.
not do that.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want you
getting arrested, crying like a bitch.
Alexis Lopez says, "I hope he delivers my Benintendi bobblehead on his bike."
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Sure.
Don't even know where you live.
John Carney says, "When the brakes fail, just Fred Flintstone that shit."
I agree.
Yeah. Put those big paws on the ground.
I do have to go tighten those back up. I feel like a little bit just to make sure that we're totally good on that.
You loosen them up a little bit.
Loaf, it's your birthday week. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good. You know what? I've a lot of stuff going on this week. Obviously, it's been busy, but one of the things I've been trying to be cognizant of doing is listening to more books, using Audible and listening to books. And I saw that the former CEO of Barstool put a book out. Erica put a book out and just like, talking about what she thinks. And the name of the book is called Nobody Cares About Your Career. So it's kind of like, here's a guide to careers, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to it, and it's okay. Like, I think I'm aged out of, like, the people she's giving advice to. Like, some of the stuff she's giving advice about, I'm like, yeah, I know that. I've been through those stages of career.
Like, what's an example? What have you aged out of?
A good example is, like, when you're young in your career, just make sure that you can, like, handle booze when you go to an event or something like that. That you don't.
You're definitely aged out of that, sir.
You don't say something, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm at the point where my career's not really growing that much. I'm at kind of the position I'll be at. I mean, I'm probably not. Maybe I got one more raise in one more position bump in my life. I don't really have a lot of promotions left in my career at this point. I'm getting up there and getting higher up in the rankings, but there's a lot of stuff like about how to grow your career, or like paying attention to meetings and all this different stuff. Like, to me, a bunch of obvious stuff. But then there's a bunch of other stuff, and I was just like almost getting a little annoyed with it, or just sort of like, I don't know, the book's kind of turning me off a little bit. And it's not her. It's just like the subject matter. And I realized what the fuck it was.
Uh-oh.
And I realized something in general about
that makes you angry.
Books where you try to learn, and just society in general. And what it was that I realized was going on here is this is a bunch of type A personality bullshit. And I am not a type A personality, and I don't think you are either, MSS.
No.
I would consider us type B personality people, right, in general. But I think a lot of what goes on at work, a lot of what goes on in, like, if you listen to a self-help book or whatever, it's all type A bullshit. It's all the type A's trying to push us type B's to be a different person. Let me read something from Wikipedia about type A people. Type A people were said to be hasty, impatient, impulsive, hyper alert, potentially hostile, and angry. Research has also shown that type A personalities may use to deal with reality or avoid difficult realizations. Interesting, though, type A personalities do not always outperform the type B personalities, although they generally do, and they tend to kind of be more productive at work, et cetera, et cetera. And it got me wondering, MSS, we're surrounded by type A people, if you look at it. Teresa E., I would say, type A person.
100% type A. Yeah.
I would say both of our wives are probably type A people.
Yes.
Are the type A's fucking with our entire lives, MSS? Like, I read this and came to this realization. I'm like, fuck, at work, the type A's run the thing. When I'm listening to this book, fucking type A's are telling me what to do. And it's like, we're type B's. Can't we just be type B's?
It's interesting that you say that and how it flushes out, right? Because I feel like the dynamic in the relationship that my wife and I have is, if she didn't push me in certain areas, like, I wouldn't leave the house unless to go to your house or go to Sox games. Like,
I'm the same.
That would
I'm
be
the same.
The only reason I leave.
No, I'm with you.
Like, I got plenty of shit to keep myself entertained. I mean, clearly, I got plenty of shit to keep myself entertained at my house. Like, I don't really need to leave. They've been gone since Tuesday, so they're just like, dude, he's been sitting in the basement for fucking 4 days, and they're not wrong. Like, I was outside in the garage one day. That was it. Like, I just want to get shit organized and get things going, and just have a certain thing, whatever. Yeah. And so, I but like, that's the one thing is like, this is to motivate me to move and to get out of the house and go do something. But also, like, I feel like, and I don't want to use this term, but I feel like we're like bottom bitches, like, we're the ones that do all the grunt work and the bad work and all that shit that the type A don't want to do. You're like, yes, I gotta put this away. I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna throw the garbage out. I'm gonna, whatever. like make sure everything's clean so that it feels more comfortable, because I know you and I are in the same way. Like if everything's too cluttered up, we're just like,
I can't
think. I gotta look. I have to go fix this. I can't deal with this. So yeah, no,
I'm that way at work too. MSS. I've always been kind of the one of the people at work, and now I've risen up in positions and everything, so I don't end up having to do this. But if there's like some little bullshit job or whatever, I'm like, I'll pick that up and fucking do that. I'll knock that shit out. No, I don't have to anymore. But like, yeah, that was my mode too. Is like, oh, no job's beneath me. I'll fucking do it, and like, yeah. But it's just a weird thing. I see what you're saying here, because I agree. My career success is like at least half of my wife, and not overtly pushing me. Right. Just like being there, like, I don't know if it's being like supportive or whatever, but I wouldn't work as hard if it weren't for it's kind of like my thinking about it. Like I would not do this. I would not like whatever, however it works. I wonder if some of our natural personalities being torn away from us by type A people. That's my kind of thing. Or dragged in a certain direction by type A people to kind of this the realization I came from listening to this book. Like
you especially, because you have like a high achieving. Well, we both have high achieving wives.
Yes, we do.
But like, but like I dipped out. It was like, I'm not even gonna try to compete with you. I'm gonna do something that you can never make fun of. I'm gonna stay home and raise the kids. And you could never say that I was lazy, because you're like, hey, listen, I'll take care of the kids. Take care of the kids. This is not lazy at all. Bitching about the kids too, but definitely taking care of them. So
that's absolutely. And then once you're done taking care of them, this is end up right here.
we can talk about that for 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds, because we're almost 22 minutes in, and your brother's probably going to start doing something. But last night, so normally I take a ninth of the gummy that I'm given by our guy Gordo, which is about 11 to 12 megs, right? I did a quarter of a gummy last night, which is like 25 megs allegedly. I was so high. I was so ridiculously high at the game last night. I was freaked out. I didn't know if I was making words. I was making sense. And I was worried when I stood up that I was like, I could fall over. And like, I walked home, and everyone was just like, hey, all right, see you later. Have a good one. And I was like, oh, great. Now I got to walk 3 blocks to my house. And I made it. But right before I got to my house, of course, my neighbor's walking down the street, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, I don't want to talk to you at all because I'm so high. I just want to go sit in a chair right now. I don't even want to get up, move, or do anything. So
I'll be honest with you. Just from my perspective, MSS, you were high, but to me, not noticeably more high than an average day. So your outward appearance, not much different. Be honest, I didn't know. We found it funny when you and Wally were eating the torpedo ice cream or whatever. Like that was some funny shit. But like
Italian ice,
whatever it was. I didn't know what it was. I know it was the red, white, and blue. I didn't know it was Italian ice, but
it was so good too. I was like literally. That strawberry was really good, and Wally was like, "Oh, that strawberry is the best goddamn strawberry." And then we got to the lemon, and I was like, "Oh, this lemon is so fucking good too." Though. And then
you say that.
And then Luke was like, "It's because you're fucking high, dude. You're bro." And I was like, "Shut your fucking tie-dyed ass, motherfucker. Just let me enjoy my shit. Like it can still be good. It can be good, and I can be high.
That's right.
I mean, both things can be true. Okay?
Just another example of trying to rip our experiences from us.
Yes, definitely if you type A motherfucker.
Maybe not. If you got a moment here, I wouldn't mind if you would sell some shrimp for us.
Hey, you know what? That would be a really good idea, and especially if I would have gotten this ready too. All right. Hi, I'm Mike Sox. I'm a famous White Sox Twitter personality, and I'm here to tell you all about the delicious sides at Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp. From their mouth-watering fries, crispy corn fritters, savory onion rings, zesty okra, and delectable mushrooms, they've got the perfect match to any dish on their menu. Whether you're enjoying succulent shrimp, flavorful fish, or any other seafood delight, these sides are the perfect accompaniment to enhance the flavors of your meal. Stop by one of our 4 locations today or visit our website at chicagoshrimp.com to place an order for pickup or delivery. Come see why Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp has been serving up the seafood you crave since 1950. I was looking for the... I
was going to say, I put them in order. It should be right there.
Did you? There it is.
There you go. Yeah, let's jump into some White Sox talk. I think it's that's the only reason I love that image.
Only reason
one of my favorite images. It's so funny. Bruhan Luke says, "I don't sound like that. Do I sound like that?" And comments are all like, "Yes, you do sound like that, Luke." Bro's getting bodied about MSS's fake voice room.
Luke, I told Lope at the beginning of the show, I go, I want to roast Luke in my banter for the story that he told in the section today, but I'm not going to do it. So just be thankful I didn't tell the story that you told me today on how to deal with stinky butts. So
I got to hear it before the show. Not great, Luke. Not great. It's
not great advice.
Aloha, Mr. Hand says, since Treasy's out, can we get MSS softball stories just for Slim Mick? No, but you can get this picture of Slim Mick. He's looking tremendous, man. Look at that tan. If that doesn't scream professional softball player, I don't know what does. Perfectly, honestly. Let's get to this drink before we talk White Sox. And Gordo says, happy birthday, Beef. Thank you, my friend. Nice shirt, MSS. Eat more chocolate mushrooms.
Cheers. Oh, dude.
Yes, thank you.
I do love those chocolate bars with the Psycho Bin or whatever the fuck they call it, man. That shit is great. It's such a good high. Man.
Now, can you ride your bike on that high or no?
Probably not. I'm not going to do drugs and then ride my bike.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you're not. You know, some people are out in these streets claiming sobriety, and then they're high as fuck all the time. You at least you're gonna, that's a substance. Yeah. You shouldn't be riding your bicycle like that.
I need to be hyper aware for getting smoke,
especially in the neighborhood. You gotta be careful in case the kids throw rocks at you. All right, first thing I want to talk about with the White Sox, and I full disclosure, I told Mrs. Beef we're going to talk a bunch of White Sox tonight, and she rolled her eyes. She's like, "Oh no!" Like, so hopefully all of you aren't like that. But the first guy I want to talk about is this dashing, handsome young man.
Oh man.
Jonathan Cannon. On Tuesday night, the powerfully blonde Maine right-hander gave quite possibly the best pitching performance of the season for the White Sox. 8 2/3 innings, no runs against the Houston Astros. This is following up a performance in Seattle last week in which he gave up only 1 run. It was a home run in the 7th inning and got through 7 innings there. And before that, right when he got brought back up to the majors, he'd been demoted to Charlotte after a few tough starts. Yep. He pitched a 3-inning save against the Red Sox and gave up no runs and broke the White Sox 14-game losing streak. All in all, that's 18 2/3 innings for Mr. Cannon after being promoted again with only 1 earned run. So this begs the question, is Jonathan Cannon actually good? My Sox number, what are you seeing from Jonathan Cannon right now?
So yes, I don't know. Like, and that was like the like why we're talking about it tonight is because I'm like, I need some numbers to to back up what I'm thinking. But like, so I went and looked, and looked at the box of the game, right? And so I'm not even going to bring up the fact that he would have had a complete game had you motherfuckers not stood up with 2 outs to go. Like,
can we stop this? Why? Okay, go explain your theory here, and then I'll tell you why you think you're smart, but you're not. Go ahead.
No, it's not that I think I'm smart. It's just I don't want to get up. Like we have been to so many games, and I will get up when there's 2 outs in the top of the 9th, and people will stand up and they start clapping and applauding. I wait until there's 2 strikes, and then I stand up. I always wait for the 2 strikes. None of y'all wait until it's 2 strikes.
No.
People are yelling at me. They're like, stand up, Jacob, stand up, get up. And I didn't, and he fucking gave up 2 hits. And then they pulled him, and then they ruined his whole fucking night. Like, it was still a good night, still a good time, but
Jonathan Brebbia didn't mind that we were standing for the 2 outs. No, he summarily got a guy out quickly. Didn't even get the 2 strikes. I don't think. Like, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he did because I did stand up.
Maybe he did.
I did stand up. Yeah. Okay. But I don't think I'm right. It's just something I just don't want to do, and then I don't like it when people try to bully me and be like,
I can't
stand up. Fuckers. Anyway, but no. So I went back and I looked at some of the numbers, right? And because he didn't seem like it was an overpowering, pitching performance by any means. Like, he wasn't blowing guys out. He didn't have didn't have a huge strikeout numbers. He only struck out 4 guys. So you're like, okay, well then he's doing it some other way. He's not just doing it. Now we know how the defense is. Defense is kind of hit or miss, and it's the same defense that is like with our relief pitchers who essentially can't get anybody out ever. So you have all these things going on. So you had 106 pitches. And I think he entered the 9th, and I think he only had like 98. So like he'd been smart. He threw 70 strikes out of the 106. So he only threw 36 fucking balls, which is just nice. Great. He only walked 1 person. I mean, so now listen. We've seen in the last 2 days that the Houston Astros are not like a team to be taken lightly. They can hit the ball. So he was doing something right to keep him from like fucking walking all over him. And I don't know. I like the way this is trending. I like this type of performance because it's not we're relying on a fastball blowing by these guys and just overpowering these dudes. He's just fucking doing the things you should be doing as a pitcher, which is throw fucking strikes, goddammit. Like, find the strike zone and fucking do it, and don't walk motherfuckers. Because if you give them something for free, then they're gonna fucking take it over. So now you can tell me why I'm right or why I am wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think there is a level, too, of it's aesthetically pleasing because he's 6'6", so he's a big guy, right? 225 pounds. And then the mound's 12 inches. So think about it. It's like he's like Yao Ming throwing these 95-mile-an-hour sinkers down at you as a hitter. And guess what you can't do with them? You can't lift them. You pound the thing into the ground, like you mentioned. He only had 4 strikeouts last night, but one walk. So they couldn't. It's not like he could do a lot with what he was giving to him. He was just letting nature and gravity take care of it.
Yeah.
He's the type of guy that he touts having like a billion pitches. And I looked on Baseball Savant. He's got 5 pitches that he uses at least 9% of the time. So it's different, like you mentioned, MSS. It's not a guy going up there trying to blow you away with the fastball and then throw that sharp slider. It's not like watching a Dylan Cease pitch where it's like he's just trying to get the strikeout, and however many pitches he's got to throw to get these strikeouts, he's going to get them. This guy is trying to deceive you and get you to pound the ball into the ground. If he strikes you out, he strikes you out. But he's got 5 different pitches that he uses at least 9% of the time. Sinker and sweeper are the main 2. So the sinker is the 2-seam fastball that he throws down at you that gets you to pound it into the ground. The sweeper's like the slider derivative, but it's a little softer, a little loopier, just kind of like that's the pitch people swing and miss at with a Jonathan Cannon. He's also got a cutter, changeup, and 4-seamer that he mixes in there as well. But with the sinker and sweeper, the sinker, people are hitting 161 off of batting average for my Sox summer. They can't do anything with it. Now, it's a little lucky. We were talking about the defense. Apparently, the defense is working out for him so far because the expected batting average is 275. Now, that's a lot higher than 161. The sweeper, on the other hand, they can't hit. 138 batting average. And these are against right-handed hitters specifically. 151's expected batting average. He murders righties with this combination here, and he's an absolute nightmare basically for right-handed hitters. You mentioned the lack of walks. The 4.5% walk rate he's got in the majors is very good. Like when you sort for the certain amount of players, he's in the top group for starting pitchers. When you lower it to the amount of innings that he has, kind of obviously hasn't pitched as much as the main guys. My only concern with that, like, he's never had this low of a walk rate in any of the years in the minors. So I don't know if he found some shit or if we're just getting like, oh man, he's red hot and we're getting the hot version of him, you know? Well,
and he's just like in the post game, like Pedro was up there and at first it rubbed me the wrong way, but he was like, yeah, this is a credit. It's a credit to our staff. You know, we sent him down to work on some things. He worked on those things and he's doing better. And then towards the end, then he started giving Jonathan some credit. And I'm like, yeah, you got to give him the credit because your staff could tell him till they're blue in the face, you need to do these things. And unless he converts and starts doing all this stuff, it don't matter how good your staff is. So like he's at least he's receptive to what they're saying. Their message that they're sending him is good, and it must be specific enough that he's been able to fucking like take care of it. Because I mean, this is a good turnaround on somebody. When we first saw him, we were like, I don't know. We're not really sure like if he's gonna be okay. Like, okay, he's tall, great. But like to see him come back after he gets sent down and say, work on these things, and for him to work on those things and then come back up, which I feel like Lenyn Sosa has done too, like his batting style and like how he approaches that bats and stuff.
Better for sure.
Like he looks better. And I feel like, you know, Jonathan Cannon it could potentially be the real deal, which is somewhat shocking. You know, like for like, shocking, you know, right? he's like our future MLB representative last year, and no one knew who the fuck he was.
Right?
There's like we don't know who this guy is. Yep. Who the fuck is this Jonathan Cannon guy? He's goofy. He looks goofy, and then he's blonde. Up like a year later. I think it's a year later. It might have been 22, but he's very shortly is pitching in the majors and is not doing that bad. So I don't know. I need one more game before I'm like totally sold. I just want to see how he reacts and how he goes about his business. But man, like it's fucking like I hate to get like with a team with 20 wins, you hate to get high on anything.
On anyone, right?
Exactly. You know, I'm just like I don't know. Like, did they figure something out? Are they doing something right, or is it just luck at this point? But like Fetty seems good. Yep. Thorpe seemed fine. Crochet came out of fucking nowhere. And now if Cannon is decent, holy shit, that's 4 fucking pitchers.
Something's
like almost all rotation. And we don't even have to use, as Sean Jankowski says, SP5. We won't even need that motherfucker no more. We can just like DFA him again. We can just let him out and see if he gets. No one will pick him up because no one wants him.
Nobody wants
him.
So
I don't know. It's at least something that's positive. Is something to kind of look at and be like, okay, well maybe they're getting something right here, because it was enjoyable. Tuesday night was
enjoyable.
Fucking enjoyable. Not to mention I was on the chocolate shrooms and those were fucking good. But like,
but no, you mentioned that
great.
part of it, MSS. It was enjoyable. I had a great time at that game, and the White Sox offense was almost non-existent. They scored twice, both on fielder's choices that Andrew Vaughn hit. So they scored on outs both of the times they did. It's not like they were lighting things on fire, no home runs or whatever. But watching him pitch and watching a shaky-ass defense mostly stand up behind him was nice. It was like a nice baseball game to watch, a nice pitcher's duel to watch. It was like, and we were on the good side of it, which feels rare these days. Like I feel like the bullpen's always blowing it, You brought up another point there earlier about him going back down and being able to make the adjustments. And I think one of the things to point out too is not only is he receptive to it or whatever, but he's athletic enough to execute whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And sometimes you might see a path for someone to get better at something. They're not capable of doing it. They can't do it physically or they can't figure it out or whatever. But it seems like he's been able to figure it out. And I agree with you. Let's not blow it out of proportion. He might come out and look pretty average over his next couple starts or whatever. But I think the key here is if we watch him go out there and it looks like he's still attacking the strike zone, and maybe some team will hit him up and they'll single him to death and he'll give up 5 runs and whatever. It won't look as good. But if he's still got 1 or 0 walks in that column there, I'm still going to feel pretty good about it and think, okay, you put a good defense behind this kid in the future, maybe you have something. When we were talking, we were spitballing after the game in the group chat, the name that came to mind for me was John Garland. Remember, John Garland was just athletic. He threw a lot of strikes. He wasn't a big strikeout pitcher, but he carried a lot of innings. And Cannon here is already stretched out. Like, there was no concern. They let him throw 106 pitches, MSS. They were not worried about, we got to get you out of here after 90. He was the guy's a horse. Go ahead. Get out there, Johnny. Let's go.
Yeah, and Garland was hurt. Like the way he was looked at by a lot of people, I feel like it's overlooked at how he operated because he was with Mark Burley. Mark Burley was like king of like almost looked like no effort, right? Like he was just placement, smart, and fucking efficient, right? And Garland is very similar. Like it was the same kind of deal. Like he wasn't like overpowering anybody. It wasn't flashy. It was just like good shit. So like I like that comparison, and I loved Garland. So that was, and then I loved him even more when he'd show up to Sox Fest hungover as fuck because he knew he was out there just drinking, just having fun with his boys, like. So yeah, I'll take that, and then if we can just get him into like, dude, if he becomes a 4 in our starting rotation.
Like, that would be
that's fucking
happy
amazing. Like that's like I don't want to say it's found money because he's a prospect and people knew like who he was but he
wasn't a high prospect. MSS. He was a 3rd round pick. Like if you make a 3rd round pick into a guy who makes 30 starts a year, that's fucking tremendous. He'll take that all day,
right? So yes, I mean, absolutely. Like, give it. I mean, just we'll see how it goes. But shit, like right now. Just enjoy this because like it was nice. It was nice to see. Just nice to see a good fucking thing. Yep.
Absolutely, Jonathan Cannon. Now, something that maybe will be less enjoyable for all of us, and the whispers are starting to come out. I saw James Fegan reporting at Daryl Van Schouwen that Eloy Jimenez he was playing in the Arizona Complex. It looks like he's close to coming back. He's likely to return next week. Is kind of the rumor here. Yeah. And so my question kind of is, I'm going to put a graphic up on the board. Eloy comes back, and we have a lot of guys that you're kind of like looking at, like, oh, I really like to watch this guy play more. Why isn't Oscar Colas playing much? Oh, we got some guys on the IL. When Eloy Jimenez comes back, it's going to make it even tougher on this roster and getting certain guys playing time. So I have a graphic up right now. Here's what I would expect, just spitballing here, that Eloy would step back into the DH role kind of regularly or semi-regularly as they see him healthy. First base should have Andrew Vaughn. Right field, Tommy Pham. Center field, Luis, obviously. Left field, Andrew Benintendi. But we have a bunch of other guys that kind of fit these DH, first base, and outfield roles. Some are here in Chicago currently. Some are either in AAA or in the IL.
Yeah.
And so Gavin Sheets is an example of that. Corey Julks, the aforementioned Oscar Colas, who has only batted twice in the last week. When I was reading the other day, and even Pedro's comments were like, whatever. He didn't even seem to be too concerned about playing him. On the IL, you got Dominic Fletcher, who hurt himself. He got injured AC joint making that catch in Milwaukee. I mean, he's starting to rehab. I heard he's taking swings, and he's starting to get a little better. And you traded for him, and you traded for Zach DeLoach, who had a little bit of cup of coffee up here, too. And so my question for you is, what would you like to see done with the playing time now that Eloy comes back and kind of crowds this up? And do you see a purpose for Eloy at this point?
Well, so we were talking about this briefly, but let me keep that graphic up for me for a second. I know people want to see my beautiful face, but still. Okay, so just what you said real quick. Oscar Colas, Pedro just basically said, hey, he needs to be down in AAA taking at-bats every day. That's what he needs to be doing. So I'm not even going to worry about Oscar Colas. Let's just kick him off, right?
Okay.
So now you got on your roster that can be total replacements, Gavin Sheets and Corey Julks. So Corey, the one guy that our right fielder, Tommy Pham, he's probably going to be gone at some point, right? He's leaving. He's not going to be there. So now we're going to have to deal with a Gavin Sheets in right field and Gavin and Corey platoon, right? Because there's no way in hell you're putting Eloy anywhere other than DH. You can't put him in the outfield anymore.
No,
that's just you don't do that. He can't play first base. So Sheets and Vaughn will go back and forth on first base when he needs a day off or whatever. Julks and him will go in right field, and then Eloy's just going to DH. I mean that's what I can see happening if Tommy Pham is no longer with us. The only reason I can see them playing the shit out of Eloy over any of these guys is they want to get rid of him. But I don't think that they can showcase him at all. It's spent money at this point, right? Maybe you get something for him or whatever, but you're not going to showcase him because he's got the option that's not getting picked up. Just he's done. He's done after the season with us. I just don't see it. I don't know why you want to put him out there. Your Julks, I'd rather see Julks get the reps.
Same.
I don't really want to see Gavin Sheets get any reps, but I mean, we're at a point where we have to do it, right? He's got 9 home runs, right? Paul Young is crushing the goddamn. He's 14 home runs.
He's 14 home runs.
I mean,
what is it? I agree with you on Sheets. Sheets is totally fine to have in the lineup, but I don't need him to be getting plate appearances. It's just he's competent, I guess, but okay. But is that a good use of that playing time? And I agree on Eloy. How hot would this motherfucker have to get to end up getting traded? Because no one trusts him to stay healthy, right? He has to get super hot. And who the hell is I got an open DH spot, and I'm going to trade for this guy who'll probably sneeze and hurt himself tomorrow,
right?
And we're at the point, I loved Eloy, man. I was a big Eloy fan. He was one of my favorite prospects, and I thought, this guy's going to come here. He's going to be masher in the middle of the lineup. And I'm at the point right now where even if he gets healthy, I don't want him playing. I would rather have some of these other guys playing. I'm going to put the graphic back up. I obviously would want Corey Julks. I wrote a blog about that. When Dominic Fletcher's healthy, I want him in the fucking lineup. I want him out there. I want to see what he can do, And even the fact that they're not using Oscar Colas, I'm not the biggest Colas fan after last year because Colas, he was bad in the field. He was bad at the plate. But he looks like he's made some improvements at the plate. I want to see how those come to fruition. And we're not – I'd rather watch that than Eloy. No offense to Eloy. And Eloy is the type of guy, if you were actually trying to win the game, you'd rather have him in there because the pitcher's got to take him seriously. But who gives a shit? We only got 20 wins. We ain't playing for nothing, man. We're playing for the utility of let's see what the fuck we got here.
Yeah.
And we know what we got in Eloy, a guy who we're going to release after the year.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's the sad part. You guys have yelled at me so much about, this guy's not going to be here next year, so they're just fucking playing him. I mean, it's done, right? Yeah. And so now I don't get excited about it anymore. It's I want to get excited about the unknown, just like all our other Sox fans. They're like, hey, let's see what the fuck we got with some of these dudes. Because honestly, You have more guys like Jonathan Cannon coming up and surprise you. Garrett Crochet surprise you. Okay, well, maybe these guys did need a fucking little bit of a shot. Maybe they need to like see what can happen. I mean, it's not as fair with Crochet because Crochet was hurt, but like, like at least find out what the fuck you have with some of these guys. And Colas, like you're saying, like, yes, I like to see it. Let's see if it's changed. But Pedro's dummy comments of like, well, he comments about everything, but him just saying that he needs to be down there makes me think he's probably still not getting it in some regard. Like he still needs to understand. So that's what we were talking about. Cannon taking the fucking the advice and the coaching and going with it and being able to change. Maybe Colas ain't there. Maybe he ain't the guy that's gonna be able to do it. Who knows?
Right, MSS. Colas might be too obtuse to get along with others, and like it'll never work out, right? Maybe that is the case, and maybe like we're throwing all this on Pedro, but maybe Colas is kind of a jag and maybe doesn't deserve playing time. Maybe that's the case. Like we're assuming 100%. Pedro's the wrong guy, but like I don't know. Colas seemed to rub a lot of people the wrong way. Is what my impression of this. Like,
no, I will say the same thing. I agree with you. Like he is definitely not the guy, right? Like he could have a lot of fucking problems within there because when people are giving him looks, and Elvis Andrews last year was giving him like, no, dude, you need to hit the cutoff line. You need to do this, and everyone's yelling, Pedro's telling him to turn down. We want him to have more effort. It's like, yeah, well, good effort though, not shitty effort, not like run around. Like, dude, I mean, I'm gonna throw this a little back, but like final line, Frank Williams. Rookie year, his first year, freshman year, he's out there. He's fucking going to get 3 fouls in within a minute because he was just too crazy. Like, yes, I like the effort. I like all this shit, but I do not like your fucking stupid. You're playing stupid basketball right now. Yes, you have a lot of effort. Yes, you have a lot of energy, but you're fouling everybody and looking stupid, and then you're hurting your team. Like, and that's what Colas says when he's not hitting the cutoff man, or he's not doing the little things he's supposed to be doing. So you need to do these things. So like, I don't know. I'm at the point now where I want to see shit. This is a lost fucking season. Right. It's a lost season. Let's see what we have in these people. We know what we have in Gavin Sheets, Eloy, Vaughn, Robert, Benintendi. Like the unknowns are all the other guys, the Jolks, the Colas, the Fletcher, and then I guess Zach DeLoach, man. I don't know.
I was gonna say, of all the people on the list, MSS, really you and I are both looking at Zach DeLoach like, you know what? If he doesn't play, we're okay. It's just,
I don't know.
Enjoy Charlotte, my friend.
I don't know why you have him on the list because it's not even.
The only reason I put him on there is because they traded for him. That's the only reason. They traded for Prelander Baroa also, who's a reliever. And I believe he got hurt again, but like the White Sox bullpen can't get anyone out, but neither can he in AAA, so it doesn't matter. Like there's not even an idea to like, we'll bring him up and he can help. No, he can't help out. He's gonna stay down there. So I'm 100% with you. I wouldn't mind if they were if they experimented a little bit and didn't play Eloy every day and didn't play Gavin Sheets and played these guys more and gave a little more rest to some of these guys. I think that would be a smarter move. Corey Jolks, he's been striking out a little bit more, but he looks like he's got power and speed. Let's explore that shit. And your guy Fletch, I mean, I don't want him working at the ONIAC at the end of the year. I want to see if he can actually play ball for the White Sox. So let's
experiment, just like women do in college. Let's just experiment, try some shit out, see what happens.
Absolutely, sounds great. How about right now you sell some Mazdas, baby?
Yeah, well, let's do that. And I should have been ready to go. And again, I wasn't, but we'll get there. Hi, I'm My Sox Summer, famous White Sox Twitter personality. And I'm here to tell you about the all-new Mazda CX-70. Available now at Mazda of Orland Park. If you're into the market for a reliable and stylish vehicle, look no further than the all-new Mazda CX-70. This top-of-the-line SUV offers the perfect blend of performance, comfort, and cutting-edge technology. With its sleek design and advanced features, the Mazda CX-70 is the ultimate choice for anyone seeking a smooth and enjoyable driving experience. And guess what? You can get your hands on the all-new Mazda CX-70 today at Mazda of Orland Park, located at 8910 West 159th Street in Orland Park. Mazda of Orland Park is your go-to destination for all things Mazda. Come on down and experience the Zoom Nation for yourself. Don't miss out on this opportunity to test drive the Mazda CX-70 and see why it's the perfect vehicle for you. Stop by Mazda of Orland Park today and take the first step towards driving home in your brand new Mazda CX-70. I can't find the other. Oh, there it is.
Line them up, baby. Line
Boom!
them up. Let's go to more White Sox talk, or quasi White Sox talk. I don't know if this is officially White Sox talk or not. It's kind of, I guess it fits into them.
Yeah, it works.
Former White Sox, Jose Abreu. Oh. I got you.
Okay.
Jose Abreu was released this last Friday by the Houston Astros. He was still owed $30 million. He had signed a 3-year, I think it was $60 million or $58.5 million deal with the Astros. He struggled mightily last year, kind of limped into the play, and then he was terrific in the playoffs. Absolutely, just outstanding hitting in the playoffs. And then coming into this year, he was horrible. He was one of the worst regular hitters out there. They even sent him down to the minors. He took an assignment to the minors to try to fix all this stuff. Came back unresolved. The Astros just decided to get rid of him. So my Sox summer, we saw a lot on Twitter. Yeah. People were like, bring him home. The season's lost. Just bring Jose Abreu home. I wanted to throw a couple tree scenarios at you for ways that the White Sox can resolve their position with Jose Abreu. He kind of left in an unsettling manner to us. In that, they didn't really offer him a contract after 2022. He had a real nice year in 2022. You could see some of the aging. The power was starting to go away, but he was very productive. Yep. They didn't even play him on the last day of the season. He sat that game, so there was no, get one last shot watching Jose Abreu. And it felt like bad terms. He said he felt like a little bit disrespected by that. And I don't think, the White Sox really like to have an all-time great player leave on those terms. So I wanted to throw a couple scenarios at you. Yeah. See what you think about them. So scenario number one for getting Jose Abreu back in. The White Sox wait and they make all their trades at the trade deadline. And then on August 1st, they sign Jose Abreu for the remainder of the season with a plan to make the final Sunday home game of the season, which will be September 15th versus the Oakland A's, Jose Abreu Day. Yeah. And they give him a grand send-off, jersey retirement, the whole 9 yards. My Sox summer, what do you think about that approach for reconciling with Jose Abreu?
So I think it's I think that's a good angle. I would like to see it. I would like to see him come back and just play, sparingly. But then he's also taking up a roster spot. And you're like, we got enough
add him
guys
to the graphic here. Have to put
right? I mean,
where do you play?
What's he gonna DH?
Get Eloy out of here. You DH.
Can he throw? Can he pitch? Maybe. I don't know. So that's the hardest part about this whole thing, because you're like, we got enough guys that can't hit and it can't run. We'd have to give up one other one, to get him. So that I don't mind that. I would like to see him get his send off, because that last day, and it was supposedly he had said, I want to take this game in as a more of a manager side, because I want to become a manager someday or whatever. And I was like, dude, you ain't fucking trying to do that. You're
much money you made. You ain't managed.
You're ridiculous. It was a bad end. Yeah, like him frowning in the dugout when we were in our window, and it was just like, he's done all these things, and it just was at the end was this real shit. So it would be nice for him to come back and to get some of the desserts, come back and have some fun, and be here for the end, and let us just say goodbye in a good way. But I don't think it's gonna happen. But I would like it if it did.
Let me ask you a couple things about this though. Sure. I think it's probably a no-brainer that Jose Abreu's jersey number will be retired for the White Sox at some point. Now, my question is he statue caliber retiree or not? Do you think he's of that level of White Sox retiree?
I mean, God. Is he? Yes. Yeah. But will he get that? I don't know. I mean, how many first basemen are we going to have statues of? It's kind of
it would be 3.
That's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Right. It's like, hey, the ownership regime just love first baseman power hitters. This is what we like, because I feel like. I don't know stats, right? But Paulie's beloved because he won a World Series with this team, and he was a leader, and he was just a stud, right? Paul Konerko is awesome. Jose is in that same breath. Frank Thomas is in that same. Frank Thomas is like light years
above them.
Both blew these guys out of the water.
Yeah.
Right. Jose Abreu playing his entire career in the majors and for the White Sox. I mean, maybe he would have been able to get to there, but no. Like, so I don't know. Like, would I like to see a statue? Absolutely. But like, there's some other guys that I think would deserve a statue before a little bit before him. Like a Burley. Like a Burley statue would be probably pretty awesome.
Yeah,
right.
No,
because the guy was just, and not just the numbers, because the numbers aren't the most important, but just left everything that he had on that field for that team. Like, he did whatever he could to win a fucking baseball
and he's
game.
Also got great numbers too. I mean, like, he's got terrific numbers to go to.
But not like Hall of Fame numbers, not like the shit that you're looking. He's not going to get into the hall with like his records, right? For his numbers. So I would like to see him get a statue before I would give Jose Abreu a statue.
Okay, that's fair.
But I don't think he's undeserving. We just have to figure out who's statue worthy out there.
How many statues can we line up around?
How many first basemen are we gonna have?
if they moved to 78, maybe there'll be a whole section just statues. Right?
All our famous first basemen right here.
There you go. The Greg Walker statue right next to this. John
Billy
Carney
Squires.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Squires, not Billy Squires. We'll put the rock and roll wing will be somewhere else.
Yeah, that's right.
John Carney says it's not like guys are lining up to wear number 79. I mean, that's what makes it easy to retire. You retire the jersey numbers, like no one's going to wear this anyway. Tadahito says jersey yes, statue no. I hear that.
Yeah.
And then SPF goes, fuck Abreu, always hitting into an inning.
Man, he really did.
He did ground into a lot of double plays.
He did ground into a lot of
I disagree with you, SPF. He was a very good player. I like the Paulie versus Jose argument was always fun to me because from straight value, Abreu is better. But Paulie has home runs in the World Series. That's the difference. Yes. Why he's always going to be much more below. But
and clutch, like a clutch homer with that, and then you could make a nice little statue of that home run post.
Now MSS, but if they do this, if they were to sign him and bring him back and then retire the jersey, what's the giveaway on the jersey retirement day?
Oh, dude,
give me the giveaway. What is it?
It'll probably be the worst thing ever. Like they did this thing for Paul Konerko, like when they retired his jersey. It's like a fake jersey just floating on a base that's had his name and a number on the back. Like just the worst. Like that's probably what we'd get, or like a cigar cutter, like something stupid, it's just like it will be a horrible giveaway. Like I know that for a fact. For the guy that got remember he got his rookie of the year and they gave out fucking blankets for his rookie of the year award, and it was like 102 that day they gave him out. It was just
fucking
it was bad. It's bad.
All right, scenario number 2 for bringing Jose Abreu back and working things over. After the season, Chris Cutts relieves Pedro Grifol of his duties, and in his first Kenny Williams-like move, appoints Jose Abreu the next manager of the White Sox. My Sox summer, Jose Abreu straight from player to manager in the Robin Ventura vein. Yay or nay on this?
I mean, looking at the NBA, maybe he needs to host a couple podcasts first, and then he can become a head coach, lead the team into victory. I don't like this move. I don't like this move at all.
Yeah.
And the reason that I don't like it is because the last experience we have with Jose Abreu is not playing and kind of giving up and saying, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to see from my manager. Like I see that he's gone and he goes in and he went and took the demotion and went into the minors to try to work some shit out. He's trying to do what he can to kind of keep it going. But like also, he did that because he's making like $30 fucking million. I mean, that's a lot of fucking money. Like, yes,
paid that
I'll do whatever you
want.
fucking say. You give me all that money, I'll do whatever you say. So I don't know. There's just nothing about him that screams, hey, I can manage this team. Hey, I can get these guys to go. Because remember all the talks he talked, like he got Eloy a fucking iPad. He got this. He taught these people this. That motherfucker, Jose Abreu was never fucking hurt. Like that guy played through anything and was fucking consistent and would be out there, right? None of that will like rubbed off on any other team. You know, like it just didn't. Makata,
the opposite happened.
Eloy and fucking Robert. None of those guys are like, hey, I'm fucking totally healthy, just like Jose. No, you know, like dude got brained by a ball and was like, I'm fucking playing. And you're like, you have a concussion. You take it easy.
Sit down for a
But yeah, no, So no, I don't like that. Him becoming the new manager, like fuck that. No, I'm not in for that.
Yeah, I'm with you in the fact that like the teams that are going to throw a guy in there and just be like, oh, player, they got to be real good organizations that have all the other shit lined up. The White Sox are the exact opposite of that, where they do not have everything else lined up. So you kind of need a manager who actually knows what the fuck they're doing. A really strong manager is what you need, not a guy who's never managed before, never coached at any level. So I just thought it was funny though, thinking about like the possibility of the White Sox doing something goofy like that, because it has a shot of happening. Maybe not with Abreu, but with someone else. So
Andrew Vaughn, probably.
I hope it doesn't happen. Aloha Mr. Stan says MSS. Don't forget testicular torsion.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the only time he missed time. Really, when he had the torsion, you know.
And he batted the cycle when he stayed up to 3:00 in the morning, worried about his kids, and his wife potentially perishing in like a plane accident or whatever, and on a boat or something. And it's like the dude fucking like in the heat of like all the bad shit, like just achieved, you know, like it's a great story. I mean, it's a great story. I don't know if he's a great leader, so we'll
just leave that out of there. That's maybe that's not the approach from him. All right, number 3. This is my last one, MSS, for us to think through here together to bring Jose Abreu back into the fold for the White Sox. The White Sox invite Jose Abreu to Sox Fest 2025 and name him an ambassador, relieving Ron Kittle in a substantial caloric budget of his duties. So Jose Abreu in, Ron Kittle's ass the fuck out of here. What do you think about Jose Abreu as an ambassador for the White Sox, being around the team, etc.?
I know one guy close to the 108 that'd be very happy with that. And it's not just the guys that run the patio at the park. I mean, there's like, God, we got to make you an 8x8 cheeseburger again, Ron. Fucking Christ. Can't you eat at home? Eat your Jethro bowl of Wheaties and fucking don't come to the park, please. This is the most likely scenario, obviously. And I'm sure Kittle will still be around, but like Jose Abreu would definitely be an ambassador for White Sox baseball. I think he would be great. He did a lot of work with the kids when he was here. He had that Abreu's Amigos and like all that shit, and he worked with special needs kids. And he did a lot of stuff. I'm getting texts from the certain person associated with the 108 that would like it that Ron Kittle would not be there. But yeah,
beautiful. I did that just for him, by the way.
But yeah, it's like that makes the most sense, and it would be a good a fucking place for him to be. I feel like I would like him. Does he make
Paul asked, does Jose make furniture? Not that I'm aware of. But good pull there, Paul.
Hey, Miggy, we got you this bench. What the fuck is that?
Kittle made.
We're also gonna ship it. Ha ha ha. But I would like to see him at Sox Fest. I would like to see him back amongst the fans. I think he was always good with the fans, and I think everyone liked him. I mean, he came in and they knew he was good, but didn't know how good he was. Right. And I think he fit the South Side, his persona, and just how he was as a player really fit the values of what we like to think of as a South Sider, baseball player. And he fell right in line with those dudes. So like I would like to see him back and doing that stuff. And maybe Jerry hasn't pissed him off enough that he'll probably come back. So that'd be nice.
Maybe now I'm gonna ask you, MSS. If he came back as an ambassador, would he demand the same salary Chance the Rapper demanded as an ambassador?
Oh man.
Not naming how much that is. That's all on the DL. But what do you think? Is he in that range, or would he accept a normal amount?
I don't know, because I wonder what does a Bo Jackson get paid to be an ambassador, and like what does a Frank Thomas get paid? Like because clearly Kittle's paid by promotion because he's at everything. So like he just trots him out. They'll offer him up for everything. He will do anything for them, and I get that. It seems as Jerry's been really loyal to Ron and has allowed Ron to do a lot of stuff. So I get why he'll do anything.
Bro has leveraged one good year for 40 years.
Yes. and it worked out really well for him.
Yeah,
and like that's great. And like you saw Frank Thomas was doing a lot of stuff too, but then he kind of like just taking a step back. He's like, I don't need to do everything no more. I'm a Hall of Famer now. I don't need to be making this nickel and dime money. But I wonder what like a Bo Jackson. I would figure he'd be like in the same category as a Bo Jackson. And like, but also he's like that. He's gonna be like that star for the six, like like the young kids right now, this next generation. Right. He's gonna be the one they remember. He's gonna be like our Harold Baines. He's like he was our all-star, and he was our good player. We love that guy. They never got the team together for him to like make it work. So he's gonna be a dude. He's gonna be the dude.
I mean, I would love it too, and I think it would open up a lot for the Latino community, especially the Spanish-speaking community.
Yes,
to have an ambassador, high-profile ambassador like that. And I think if you're really trying to look to grow the fan base or whatever, that is like a great way to do that. I mean, like you put him out there, and he doesn't speak English. Who gives a fuck? Everyone loves Jose Abreu. Except for 2 or 3 people in the comments that are worried about grounding in double plays. But otherwise, everyone really loves Jose Abreu. And so I could see a lot of opportunities to leverage him, and if he was interested in it. Then again, I don't know if he would like continue to live in if he would continue to want to commute to the area. I think he lives in Miami. So I don't know if he'd want to like commute up here and do stuff or whatever. But
in the cold.
Yeah, especially Sox fans. It's freezing fucking cold out there. But if he did, I think that would be such a great fit. I mean, it'd be such a goddamn great fit to have him around the ballpark, signing autographs, meet and greets, all this. That would be to me, it would be very thrilling to like meet him at something. If they had a season ticket holder event and you got to like, say hi to Jose Abreu, whatever the fuck, that would be cool.
Hell yeah. No, it'd be better than, Dan Pasqua for the 14th time. It'd be really cool to actually meet a player.
Nothing against you, Dan. I'm sorry, but
we like Dan, and Dan is built really well now too. Like he's still muscular and he seems like he's fine. Just don't care. Don't have a Dan Pasqua bobblehead to get fucking signed. Nope, don't have that. So I don't need to meet him again.
We're beyond the Pasqua level about this. Yeah, I mean, I imagine Jose probably wouldn't hit the patio boys as hard either as Ron. So maybe, although I know he likes to tip a cocktail or two. Jose Abreu.
He does.
So I've heard, allegedly,
and he smokes stogies. So like he's right in. He's a big cigar guy too. Yeah. So yeah, no, he fits right in with the boys club that's at the top of our organization right now. Just doesn't speak Spanish. I mean, he doesn't speak English very well apparently. So
yeah.
Remember his goal for a long time was to sing the national anthem? Yeah. Like he's like, I want to learn the language and I'm going to sing the national anthem. That never happened. So we still got to make that happen. That would
maybe that's how he comes back. He's the ambassador and then he comes back and sings that. Man. Now I would be praying MSS that he's not as bad as like Carl Lewis or someone. Like if he was real bad, like we would have to drag him on the podcast and we have to drag him on Twitter. And I don't want to do that. I love Jose, man. He was one of my favorite players.
Who was the dude that wasn't he on the Dodgers that he sang the national anthem before a game with his wife, and his wife got all the headlines because she was wearing that little tight dress and she was ample. Yeah, there was this girl or a woman. Google this. His wife was there and his child were there while he was singing the national anthem, and everyone was like, "Look at his wife." That's all I remember. It's like he didn't sing that bad, but also I don't remember how he sung because my eyes were directed somewhere else. So I have to look that up. I will post that later on the Twitters. So follow us on the Twitters, and you can see that later.
At FromThe108 on Twitter.
At FromThe108.
All right. I think it is. We are gotten to that time already. A quick show tonight. We've gotten to our thank yous and GFYs. My Sox Summer. You go first. Thank you or GFI, my friend.
My first thank you is to your daughter, Bonita, for graduating the 8th grade. Thank you for doing that. For my second thank you to you and your lovely wife for hosting such a great gathering of our friends on Saturday at Pompeii. It was awesome. It was just fun. Plus, they brought out the to-go food. So, like, not only did you feed me for lunch, you fed me for dinner.
Well, I'm glad people grabbed all that stuff so we didn't have this shit for fucking ever. I mean, I loved all the food, and we had a bunch of leftovers, and I actually ate a little bit of them, like the last of the leftovers today. Nice. It was good, but like I'm glad that other people grabbed them because there was a lot of good shit in there. To be
dude. And I waited until everybody had gone through and grabbed everything because I was like, I'm loading up. right? Like I'm not playing. And so I want to make sure everyone else has gotten what they wanted. And then I'm going to go in. And I got so much fucking calamari. Oh God, it was so good. And I had the Lawrence's hot sauce here. So I didn't even need
nice.
like, any of the red sauce. I got it all here. So I was good to go. I stole a couple of fucking lemons from the place too. It was nice. So it worked out really well for me. But yeah, thank you guys for inviting us, including us. It was great. And it was great to see people and then see our boy Joey, who I was like, man, I didn't even know they were that close with Joey. And he was like, no, they're not. Joey's at another party, but he came in to say hi to everybody else. I was like, this is great. This is fun. So it was just a good time. And then we'll see everybody except the Lowe family Saturday for the 5K. We're doing the 1 mile walk. They changed the time, so make sure you check your emails because it's now 8:30 start. Or 8 o'clock start.
That's early
on Saturday because it's supposed to get really hot and the heat index is going to get bad. And the people that are running it said, hey, listen, you should probably up the start time because you don't want people dropping. So make sure you check your email. I know today you could check in the suburbs, and then tomorrow is at the over in the Roosevelt Collection. There's a Fleet Feet over there.
It's a good idea to check in ahead of time because
you have to.
Oh, do you have to now? There's no check-in day of. Okay, I like that.
No, you can't do day of. They could mail it to you, or you can go check in. So if you didn't get your shit mailed to you, you got to go over there and just go grab it. Yeah, it's tomorrow from I think it's till 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So you got plenty of time. Get in there, take that care of, and we'll see you Saturday morning.
Now, My Sucks Summer, if you see 8:30 a.m. start, if you were to see Big John the mailman there,
yes,
at 8:30 a.m. start. Is he smelling like vodka at 8:30 in the morning?
I hope so. Either vodka.
He denied it. He told me no. He's not much of a vodka drinker. That's what he told me. I saw him afterwards, and he said no. That was not it.
Vodka or like a nice smell of like Kahlua. He's like got the Kahlua in the coffee.
It's a little breakfast drink.
Yeah, he's like, listen. He's like, I like my coffee Irish or island flavored. I'm gonna put some Kahlua in there, and he's gonna have a good day. So, yeah. How about you? Who are your thank yous or who you GFYing this week there, Loaf?
I appreciate that. Before I get to that, let me get to this drink from Joey
Thanks,
P.
Joey P.
He said, salute you twos, and thank you, Joey P. Bless your heart. Don't mind if I do take a nice little drink.
Alexis, I did not steal the lemons. They were next to the stuff. I put the lemons inside of the thing. I just made sure I took some lemons. I should have said took them instead of fucking. And what's up, Nadia? How you doing? We'll do one of these. Let's do one of these. Can we get this one? Yeah, that's a good one. I haven't done that tonight. So you got the confetti.
John Carney says this show's a Maddox. 72 minutes. Well done, folks.
Not only we hit our spots, right? We hit all our spots.
We nailed everything tight. We kept it real tight. Yep. My thank you is actually to Baloney from the Chicago Sports Bums for coming on the Ajun, interviewing me for my birthday. He was great. Like I have never really worked with him kind of like that. Like obviously we've had him on stuff or whatever, and then we've had Jason on or whatever, and I've been on their show. But one-on-one like that, I thought he did a terrific job interviewing, keeping the thing moving or whatever, and just like asking interesting, insightful questions. It's tough to make me sound interesting. I'm a blabbermouth, but he kept it on the rails, and I appreciate that, Baloney, you doing that for me. I also appreciate everyone that showed up and dumped super chats and even birthday wishes on the X. It's really cool. I'm 46. My birthday is fucking meaningless, but all of you were very nice about it. I really appreciate that. So I just want to let you know that I absolutely love all of yous. So anyway, thanks everyone tonight. Appreciate all the likes and the comments and everything. And we'll see you guys next week. Love y'all.
See ya.